What up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Creeps of the Crypt. I'm your host, John, along with my co-host,
Other Alan. What up, guys? I'm glad that we're back for a good episode this time. You know, I already told you how we felt about it last week, the last one we watched. This is going to be good.
I actually don't know if I included that in the episode.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm not sure, but yeah, so here we are to talk about, yes, like Alan said, a good episode. One of my favorites of all time, actually, which is Season 2, Episode 16, Television Terror. Honestly, this I remember this vividly. It's kind of funny what I ended up doing and what you end up remembering in life because, okay, if you don't know, I used to go ghost hunting, right? And I've went to haunted locations. And there's a lot of signs in my life looking back at it now. Like when I was a baby, they used to call me Casper, like Casper the Friendly Ghost. Like that was my nickname because I was really white and I had a big head. So everyone called me, they all called me Casper. Scooby-Doo was my favorite cartoon. You know, they always look, you know, Mystery Mobile and all that bullshit. And then I remember this, and I had an experience when I was a teenager, which led me to want to investigate the paranormal. But like, this is so vivid. This is so ingrained in my memory. This episode, like, I loved this episode. This is a fantastic episode. Really, this is top. I think out of the whole series, this has to be top 5.
I'd say so too. It's up there with me too. I mean, it's one of the ones where surprisingly, you know, I haven't changed my opinions on it since I watched it the first time, and then many times afterwards, sharing it with other people, and then now for this review. So it really is definitely up there, top 5 from the series.
Yeah.
Now I know we're on to season 2 right now, but you know, there's a lot more that could change from now to then. But I'd say at the moment, so yeah, it's definitely up there, top 5.
Yeah, I don't think much will change, honestly. I mean, I think the series gets worse as it continues. So, I mean, I honestly, I was thinking about it earlier today, and I go, you know what? I think, like, season 4 is I don't remember anything after 4. And I don't know if I continue to watch after season 4 in real, like, when I was a kid. Maybe there was a few episodes I'll see when we watch it, and I'll be like, oh, but like I have the first 4 seasons on DVD, so I've seen all 4 seasons, right? I don't know what season 5 is. You know, I don't think season 5 is the episode with Christopher Reeve, because that's a good one too. But if I think that's season 4, but if it is 5, okay, I remember that one. You know, but like I don't know, we'll see when we come up to it. But anyway, yeah, to talk about this episode is called Television Terror, and it aired on July 17th, 1990, and it was directed by Charlie Pecorini? Is that how you say his name?
I'm gonna say Picerni. Picerni.
Picerni. Yeah, sorry, Charlie Picerni. Charlie. Okay. Well, it was known mostly for stunts, right? And then he started directing. I think he directed Starsky and Hutch episode in the late 70s. So he started. So this is not like he just threw him in like they do a lot of other people. So he did actually direct some episodes prior to this, and then then he continued on after this to do some stuff that was considered, you know, pretty good. So. It has to be. I thought, because when I looked on his IMDb, it says like he's no more for stunt work, you know. So I was like, I was thinking, I go, geez, that's kind of hard if they just threw him in to be a director, and he was known as for a stunt guy, and then he has to work with Morton Downey Jr. That's who stars in this episode. I'll get to him in 1 second, but yeah. So it was directed by Charlie Pecerni. And it was written by this man goes by Randall Jansen now, but previously he went by J. Randall Johnson. So I don't know what happened, why he changed his name. Maybe he wanted to go by Randall Johnson, but there's already a Randall Johnson, so he went with Randall Jansen. I have no idea, but yeah. So he actually, again, this is another interesting aspect of this episode. because we were so used to people not doing anything. You know, I sent you the documentary, right? Or it was an extra feature in one of the seasons.
Yeah, a couple of those.
Yeah. So they talk about how everyone wanted to work with them and they had the best people to come in. Yeah, but not with directors really. Like besides like a few directors in the first season and a little like sprinkled here and there, maybe one episode. That most of the directors and writers that we probably like we doing this podcast are like nobodies. They haven't done anything and they're known for something totally different. So maybe the best of the best were like everybody else that were, you know, produce this. We talked about that last episode, how this is kind of like what happened with a lot of Hollywood stuff, because they could just pick anybody to direct. But this one has a good, decent. I mean, honestly, I have to say, they should have given the guy more work because this was pretty fucking good. But he had stuff before. So yeah, J. Randall Johnson is a writer. He wrote The Doors, the movie The Doors. He wrote the story for The Mask of Zorro. There's a bunch of people that wrote the script, and you know, but he wrote the story. So
that 90s one, right, with Antonio Banderas?
Yes. Yeah,
because it's like a new Zorro out now on Netflix or one of these streaming services.
I think it's Amazon.
Gotta clarify.
I think it's Amazon. Yeah, I saw like some pictures of it, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And there's actually two. I think there's two different Zorro shows right now. But anyway, yeah, he wrote the story for Mask of Zorro. He wrote The Doors. He wrote the video game, or the story for the video game Gun, which I remember playing that back with the was it PS1 or PS2? I think it was PS2, which I liked the game, but I don't remember much about it. And I want to see this zombie movie this guy directed that I really want to see. And Charlie Picerni he directed a movie that I really want to see. I saw the name and I looked it up. It's called The Bleeding, and it stars Michael Madsen and DMX, and it says,
"Oh shit!"
Surrounded by carnage, slaughter, brutal crashes, and total mayhem, Sean Black is in a race to save the world from pure evil. And it looks like a vampire
Vinnie
movie.
Jones.
Yeah, Vinnie Jones. Remember, he was a big deal. Why was he a big deal?
Bro, I don't know. Like I think because he started showing up in those. I think the Guy Ritchie movies back then, Lock, Stock, and then Snatch, and then he was in that Midnight Meat Train movie. That was a kind of a big kind of horror movie at the time, right? With Bradley Cooper before he got big.
Yeah, but that was still later on in his, like much later on. Like,
but otherwise, I'm not sure. Like, it's just he used to be like some kind of rugby player that transitioned into acting.
Yes, that's the only thing I remember him. He was on. Was it what? It was the pay-per-view, the WWE pay-per-view in 1990 something, 8 or 9, 1999 maybe. The one with that was I think No Mercy. It was the No Mercy that was specifically. It was a UK pay-per-view that nobody was supposed to see, and the belt was on the line against Triple H. I think it was Stone Cold versus Triple H, and I think Vinnie Jones came out, and he does something. I don't remember, but I know that I got that tape thinking, oh God, and then I'm like, oh, they did nothing because it doesn't fall within the storylines of what they're working for or their pay-per-views. It was such a piece of shit. All these belts are on the line. Nothing changed because they didn't have plans to. But anyway. Yeah, so this had a good writer. There's another writer on here called G.J. Pruss, and he's done nothing. He's done absolutely nothing. He never wrote anything. This is the first thing he assisted on, and yeah. So anyway,
he just he probably just wrote a few lines of dialogue. Got some credit.
If that, who knows? Maybe they just gave him credit just because he's related to somebody somewhere. But so. Television Terror. I told you, send me if you could find the comic, send it to me, and you did. So this one is actually based on the Haunt. Was it the Haunt of Fear? And
it's a story within the Haunt of Fear, issue 3 for those at home that want to look into it. I thought it was too, but I had to look through. I had to dig in a little bit deeper to find this issue, but it looks like it's on issue 3.
You know, after. You sent me the comic and I read it. I went and I bought all of the Haunt of Fears I
They
bought.
seemed really cool. Like I got a chance to look through a couple pages, and even one including for this episode, which is not very far off from what
Oh
the
yeah, I
comic's
know.
about.
Yeah,
It's like the only difference is it's not a radio broadcast. It's a television broadcast,
no, no.
live TV.
The comic is a live broadcast too.
Oh, okay. I skimmed through it, so it
Yeah,
looked
yeah.
like he was holding like a mic. So I thought there was I
Yeah.
thought it was a radio broadcast.
He is holding a mic, but I guess that's how back. I mean, this guy, Morton Downey.
Yeah, bring all those miles of cables inside that haunted house.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's the stupid thing too. But they said in the comic that they made this camera specifically for him because back then they didn't have cameras like that. So he's like, this is a special camera that they just made for him. And the story is similar, except the house in the story in the comic is a woman married a man. I forgot something. Yeah, Creedmoor. So okay, so the house in this version, in the comic version, the house is owned by a man named something, Mr. Creedmoor. He's an old man and he married a young woman, and then but like they weren't in love or whatever, and she was miserable being married to this old man, but he had money, so then she was having an affair with somebody else, but nobody knew about it because all of a sudden one day Mr. Creedmoor was found hanged right in a part of the house, and then all of a sudden she had married to this other guy like right away, and so everyone suspected that she cheated on him, and then all of a sudden a few years later they're both found hung in the house in the same room. So that's the biggest difference. In this version, Morton Downey plays a Geraldo Rivera type, right? I guess, yeah. And he's played, what's his name? Horton Rivers, right? I don't know why they kept his same name. They kept his name.
It just gave him a similar name that rhymes with his real name. So
by the way, that's not his real name.
Remembering what the hell it was.
That Morton's his father's name. His real name isn't even Morton. His real name is Sean. So because I remember I watched a documentary on Morton Downey Jr. when I was a few years ago. It's called.
Oh, okay.
It's like
Sean Morton Downey Jr.
Yeah.
Birth name.
Yeah, I forgot his name is Evocateur. That's the name of the documentary, and yeah, so it's great. And he was like a conservative, Jerry Springer, Geraldo, like Bill Maher, like one of these fucking. Actually, not. I wouldn't say Bill Maher because Bill Maher, yeah, maybe, but really like really aggressive, and really like there's clips of him going crazy on Rand Paul, and like he goes crazy on all these people, and he was a conservative. So, and he was like, oh my God, there's a scene in that documentary where he tells there's a vegan girl in there, and this is the 80s. And she says she's a vegan. He goes, what does that mean? She goes, I don't eat meat. I don't work anything with animal things. He goes, I smoke 4 packs of cigarettes a day. I have at least 4 drinks a day. Right? He goes, I'm 54 years old, and I still look better than you. I was like, oh my God, this guy is wild. And he was crazy. He would scream. It was an amazing show, to be honest. It was I think he died of cancer. Great show, great guy.
Oddly enough, yeah, lung cancer.
Yeah, because if he did smoke 4 packs a day, yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, he was came from a pretty good upbringing. He lived across the street from the Kennedys. Like he's well to do, and he's an interesting guy, and he had a lot of people on his show, and I would say we need people like that nowadays on TV. But anyway, so he was playing Morton Rivers, and he's going to investigate this haunted house, and he what's the word I'm looking for? Like he's being extra dramatic or pretending like, for the TV, for like I guess for us.
Yeah, he kind of hypes
it up. I guess
like
easy word. And
kind of like how Maury would do.
Yeah, or like I would say for people that into the paranormal, there's a guy named Zach Baggins. He's like the biggest paranormal guy now on TV, and he pretty much amps or hypes things up more than they should be. So, yeah, like him. You should know him.
Yeah.
He has that haunted museum in Vegas.
Oh yeah, I'm familiar with him. I've been to the museum before, and I've known about Ghost Adventures, but it was never one I watched often because most of the time they would never really show anything that good. You always see those little specks, a little little specks of dust,
Dust,
or bubbles.
yeah.
That would be the evidence you see. Obviously, that's kind of like as far as these paranormal evidence goes. So it just never caught my eye, but I know of him. So yeah, in that vein, he's kind of like this. They name him as like a TV shock journalist in this IMDb description, but in that vein, if we can put our heads into that space of the kind of character he's playing, just pretty much what he was doing in a way. It's reminiscent of his actual
actually a
career.
lot less, more tamed his version. But in the comic, the guy is like they try to make him annoying in the comic because he goes ha 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 ha. Every time he says something, he's like ha 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 ha. And like he interviews a guy who comes like they do in the show. He interviews like a professor who's I forgot the name of the professor. The comic is like Professor Poltergeist. It's like what the fuck, and then he talks about this house is evil, pure evil, and blah blah blah. So this actually is very very true to the comic. The only thing they changed is that one thing. So in this version, the house, instead of it being haunted by a man, a husband and wife, it's haunted by a woman who murdered 13 people and buried them on the grounds of the house, and she was doing it because she would get their Social Security money. Right?
Was it a nursing home or some sort, or she was just taking care of elderly folks that she would murder for the Social Security money? It was something like that, right?
Her name was
something Ritter.
Ada Ritter, and she, I guess, it was a boarding house. I think it was a boarding house for But this is the best part, because this is why I said, oh my god, there's so much. This is based on a true story. So there is a Netflix show called neighbor, like your neighbor's pure evil, something with neighbors and evil, right? And they talked about this woman. I actually have her bobblehead. I bought this because there's a website where you could get demented things, bobbleheads. Her name is Dorothy. I cannot say her last name. Pugnete. Pugnete? Puente. Okay. So this lady was an old woman, and she did exactly what they're talking about in this episode. I'm positive this probably happened around the same time. So this was big news. Like, she got caught. Like, she actually it was for the Social Security. Yeah, it was exactly for the Social Security money. And she had a boarding house, and some people she killed. I don't think they found 13 bodies, but they found a lot. I think it was like, I forgot how many, but they found a lot. And there's this documentary on Netflix. You definitely, if you're interested, you guys should definitely watch it. I forgot the name of it.
I think it's Murders at the Boarding House. You can watch this on Hulu.
No, that one is not it. But that's not the one. It's something about a neighbor. It's about your neighbor being evil, whatever. And then there's a bunch of episodes. And one, there's a guy who was living with these people, and this girl, he fucking tried to kill her, and then he put her in this oil thing in this abandoned like gas station, and then put dirt all over her, and she fucking survived, and her eyes were bloody and she was bleeding everywhere, and she walked back home, and he was there with all her friends, and she couldn't speak because she, that's in there. And then another girl who rented her, like, there's an attached house, so she had the whole thing. She rented the next room, and the guy fell in love with her. He was a Chinese guy. He tried to kill her, and so this is and it's on Netflix. So I forgot the name of it, but that's interesting to know. I want to watch that one now. So Dorothy, I don't know how to pronounce her last name, so that's what it's based on. It's actually based on a true thing, which is cool. So now you have all those souls in this house, in this version, that are there, probably angry because they were murdered, and they said that the house is pure evil. So basically, Alan's not telling. I normally say, Alan, tell us what the episode is about, but it's just about a fucking television guy going to investigate a haunted house, and he's hyping everything up, and he probably has plans to make it more dramatic and scarier than it actually is, all for ratings. And they make him kind of like an asshole when he's talking to his, I guess she'd be the producer. And producer / girl he's banging. Yes, he mentions that. So I looked at her and I said, I know her from something. Right? So I looked her up. I go, oh, she was Johnny Depp's girlfriend. I said this in an episode of my Freddy's Nightmares, but I got the wrong girl. It was her. She's the one that is his girlfriend, Amy, that he ends up like he wanted to break up with her, and then she kind of whatever. So then they were going out. He was looking to start a fight. So then she goes, let's just do whatever you want to do. He's like, yeah, you sure? Because he was ready to break up with her. She's like, yeah. So he's like, okay. So then they go to like a gas station to get food. She goes to the back to get alcohol. And all of a sudden this guy comes in, robs the store, and Johnny Depp's right there, and he can't do anything. And then she's walking behind. She says, because his name's Tom. So she goes, Tom, and then she drops the beer. It breaks. The guy turns around and shoots her because he's nervous robbing the store.
Yeah.
So then I said, Johnny Depp goes, no. And then they go to Johnny Depp's depressed and looking to kill this guy. So yeah, that was where I know her from the 21 Jump Street episode. But yeah, so she's very pretty in my opinion, but she's the producer and he is an asshole to her.
Yeah, that's what the instance that we got to where, much like the running trend on the show is that a lot of bad things happen to the kind of bad people on this one. So we kind of get a little bit of an instance of what he's like, but pretty much everybody in the crew hates him. So even the guys that were in the TV truck watching him go through this house, are making comments about him. So it kind of gives you an instance that this guy is a shithead. So. Yeah. So when something does happen, and probably we're not supposed to feel that bad for him.
That's the thing. Like, they're just really talking shit to him every time he says something.
The whole time, yeah.
That's what I think is the only problem. Like, Morton Downey Jr., surprisingly enough, he's portraying. I don't know if he found the comic, read it, and he's portraying the character like the guy in the comic book, like when he's talking to the producer, right? He's acting like the guy in the comic, like laughing at stupid shit, saying like, "You're really gonna do a show about somebody who said they had sex with Satan or something?" I forget which one it was, and he goes, "Oh no, it was John Morrison, that she had sex with the ghost of John Morrison. I don't know what it was. It was something with John Morrison." And then he starts singing like, "Hello, I love you." Won't you? He starts making up a stupid song, but he's acting like the guy in the comic, like laughing and doing all these stupid things, like annoying. But they come off as they fucking hate this guy. Like he's such a fucking prick. That's what it seems like. So I don't know if it was the acting or what, but like they really, really hate him. And I'm like, he hasn't been an asshole to get like, except for just because you're sleeping with me doesn't think that's the only line.
That's really the only line that would make you feel that way about him. But other than that, they didn't really show too much of him being an asshole. So I mean, that's just kind of the context we're given. So who knows? Maybe he was. Yeah. Maybe treated them badly, but we just didn't see it.
Yeah, man. That's
just laying the groundwork of like the kind of character he is.
Yeah, and also I think maybe it was him. Morton Downey's not really an actor. So him doing this, and it was a perfect casting though in a sense, but like he took it a different direction. He took it like the comic direction, being the guy, and he did great. He was really great. Like he seems like annoying.
I mean, yeah, honestly, for someone that is not really known for his acting, I mean, he did a really great job on this one compared to like the people that are considered actors, just depending on the direction they're given or just the actor itself. Like he did better than that guy in the thing from the grave we keep shitting on.
Yeah, it was great. Morton Rivers goes around just doing the show with one cameraman, going through the entire house, and we're getting shots, like cuts every time he opens a door of what took place in that room. So like he says in this room,
that part was really cool.
Yeah,
I like that touch.
Yeah, he says in this part, this person was killed, and then you see like that person getting stabbed in the chest, and then you see like a basement full of people when they open the basement door, and then they go like she kept them down here to what. It's really that's what I'm saying. Like to have this guy being Morton, and especially if you watch his show or how he acted, oh my God, this guy was unhinged. He was really unhinged. Morton Downey Jr. So like you got a director that's not really known to direct this guy. And that's why also maybe they took it that the producers and everybody, all the people in production truck, were talking shit to him because in real life people a lot of people despise Morton Downey Jr. because he said some crazy. So think about Howard Stern times 10. Okay, that's what it really was. That's what I mean, he's aggressive. He's an aggressive person. The logo for his television show was his big mouth. Like it was his
Right.
mouth. Like he's anyway. Anyway, it was fucking great. I guess there is a part where he starts going crazy. Because they're like, listen, the ratings suck, right? And then he goes, you got to do something. He goes, he's like, what the fuck do you want me to, like, almost like,
Oh, yeah.
what am I supposed to do?
I was thinking of Arnold.
Yeah, like he says, we want you to spice it up. He's like, how am I supposed to spice it up? Like, what am I supposed to do? And then that's when you hear a moan coming from upstairs, and they're like, what the fuck? And that's when the show gets good. This is just, there's not much to talk about because it's your typical guy goes into a haunted house. That we see things that he doesn't see, but it works. It works so good, and then later when you start hearing the shit, and then the things start happening, you're like, oh, like this is good, and it draws you in, and then you're on the edge of your seat, like thinking like, what the fuck's gonna happen, especially later on. But so anyway, they hear a moan upstairs, they go upstairs, and then they're like, wait, they're during commercial break, and they're like, get us off commercial, like you want us to spice it up? Now we're getting shit happening in here. So yeah.
It's slow. It's a slow build up leading up to that whole talking about just amping things up because they were the producers or the executives we're getting bored of the whole thing. One of the lines I found funny is when he was going through the kitchen and he got scared by the rats. One of those guys in the production booth like, hey, it's a fucking family.
Yeah,
that one got me. It's like, oh man, they really despise this guy. That was just another great line to emphasize that.
They did this works so well. They did little things like he's making comments about the food that was left in the house because the house has been abandoned for years, and then he goes, then the rat shows up and scares the shit out of him. But then he's just showing like parts of the house that things happen. But yes, obviously people watching at home would not be interested because they're not seeing what we're seeing. They're not seeing the people how they died and everything. The flash cuts to that. We're just hearing him, Morton Rivers, talk. And then later, after the moan, they go upstairs and then the camera starts having problems. Like it starts getting interference. By the way, there's a house I investigated where I had a lot of cameras would, I remember one time I had a night vision camera. It was on night vision and the night vision went black, which is not supposed to happen. It didn't go off. It just went black. So like here, and then I had another device that was fully charged. The battery all of a sudden died, and then I go downstairs. I turn it on. It works fine. The battery's full. So that's something they say. Spirits take things away. And interesting enough, in the comic books they have things too. Like they talk about things in the comic that, like cold spots. There's a lot in the comic. He says it's fucking freezing here. That happens when you investigate haunted locations. So. Very interesting. So anyway, the camera starts malfunctioning. They're screaming at him in the truck because they're right done with commercial, so they got to put him on. And then the camera guy starts trying to fix it, and then they start hearing dripping, and then the producer goes, "Do you hear that, Morton? Do you hear the dripping?" And he goes, "Yes. So what?" And he goes, "Well, there's no water. It's not like this. Like he goes, the water's been shut off for years. Like this should be bone dry." And then she goes, he goes, "What do you want me to do? Read the meters?" And like she's like, "Say, well, find out where the water's coming from, basically, So he goes to the bathroom, and then he sees for the first time, it's not a flash cut that we see. He sees, which, by the way, the flash cuts could be that they're there, but he just doesn't see them, right?
Oh, that could be it, or it could have been just kind of glimpses of what happened, or just the events of what happened, just I guess always happening or repeating themselves in a way. Hard to tell, but yeah, it's just kind of, I took it as just kind of quick flashbacks of people that have died there. I guess building up towards the end, because we see a lot of those same people that in those cuts later on when they manifest themselves. So. Yeah, he sees an old guy with his throat slashed in the bathtub, and he goes to the camera guy, just about ready to shit his pants to have him go check this out, and then it was just nothing there.
Nothing there, and he goes, "You didn't see that?" He goes, "I was fixing the camera, man." And then
everybody was talking about everybody thought he was
bullshitting,
hyping it up.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden,
all the doors start opening and closing really quick. And shake, and the table starts shaking, and chandelier falls from the ceiling. It just shit happens, and now the camera's working again.
Yeah, and then the guy's bugging out because he's seeing all this. The door starts like getting kicked in, like if you're kicking the door in, and you see it cracking and everything, and then blood starts pouring out of the door, and
that was really cool.
that's
too.
awesome. This was so good, and it takes elements from other things, but it's just like this was beautiful. There's a mirror, not as a picture, and it just shakes. And then he composes himself enough to go in front of the camera after it calms down and say, "This is the first psychic phenomenon ever viewed on live television." You know, like we just got doctor, and he asked the doctor, what's this? So they throw the doctor back on camera real fast, and he says, like, he tells him
how safe it is, or
yes.
asking how safe it is in there, and it's like, it was pretty much not safe the moment you went in.
Yeah, well, he tells him that what you're experiencing is both like he think this is the part where he says poltergeist activities is this frequently happen. Yeah. When this is the other thing they talk about the threshold. Once you walk the threshold, once you pass a certain threshold, that's something we talk about in when we investigate. Once we go into the house, or into the location, or into the property, once you pass that threshold, it's just you could feel the difference of a location. That's normally right away if you feel anything. Sometimes you don't feel nothing. So and then you go, and maybe you get something, but you know. But sometimes you could feel it. It's just the heaviness. And he tells them, once you pass that threshold, once you got into that house, this house is pure evil. And it goes, what you're basically experiencing is impressions. Like when people were murdered there, that whatever energy and anger or scared that they felt, like the walls remembered it, or the environment remembered it, and it's trapped in there. So all these people that she killed are all angry and upset, and they're stuck there. Or it could be because she's still there too, and right. So she's still holding them. Her spirit's still there. She's still holding them into the house, like they can't pass on. So then another door starts shaking. They go to there. I don't know if you want to talk about it from there. Oh, this part's good. You could say this part. When the door starts shaking, they go to he goes to the door. He opens it, looks nothing, and then he looks down. He starts seeing blood.
Yeah, great thing. Like it just happened so quick and subtly. Like, yeah, there's blood on the rug, and then you see the cameraman swinging. All of a sudden, dead. Is like, oh my god, this is. He's like in fear now. Like this is not. He ain't playing around. He tries to run away and get out of there. But all the spirits we've been seeing get killed or have been killed there started showing up, and we kind of got a little bit of that thing from the grave thing, almost like zombies walking towards him, but they were definitely just spirits.
They were spirits, but he looks and he sees him hanging, but the camera's still pointing at him, and they go, Morton, who's holding the camera? And he looks, and camera goes down, and it's a fucking ghost. And he goes, did such a fantastic job. I feel his fear, like through his facial expressions and everything. Morton Downey Jr. did a really good fucking job. He was I believe, a musician. And he entertainer, because he was a TV show he was hosting. He was a radio show host first, and then he had his own TV show. So he is an entertainer, but he was really good. Like he was so scared when the guy drops the thing. Like you believe, like he's shit. He tries to run out, and then that's when you see all the other fucking ghosts standing there blocking his way that he can't get the fuck out, and then he's fucking shitting his pants.
Oh, fantastic! I mean, that's what made it feel believable. It's just his performance on seeing all this unwind and just the legends being true,
but they don't see the ghost.
Just great. They don't see anything, because right now all they see is the camera pointing at the door you ran in. And
then he falls. Right, no, not the door. He walked upstairs with the cameraman when this ghost drops it, so it's facing the door he's gonna go into. Right, but he tries to run downstairs. He can't. Falls down, and then then they could see him because he fell. And then he's looking. So the other producer, he's like, call security, because obviously he sees Morton's freaking the fuck out. Right, he's like, call security, and then they go, oh, we got the network on the phone. They love it.
Yeah, just leave him in there for a couple minutes. Go, sweat it out.
And he runs to that door, slams it, and he goes, help me. And then the producer's like, what do you want me to do? Like, it's your call, to the girl. And she's like, leave him in there. And the women, it seems like he probably was a Harvey Weinstein. They should have done more with that, because there's another girl in the production truck that says that. Like, the network says they're loving it, right? And so then when she says leave him in there, the other girl looks at her happy too. So this guy could have been trying to fucking all the girls that work for him, you know? He could have been a sick Harvey Weinstein type. So anyway.
Right. And for all they knew, he could have just been hyping it up, or there was something he saw that genuinely scared him, and it's just gonna leave him in there because hey, you'll be okay.
Yeah.
Figured he'd be okay.
Yes, that's true too.
Yeah, he goes in that.
But how they saw the guy's feet? They saw the cameraman. They know the cameraman's dead. They know somebody else has to. They think somebody else has to be in the house, so they couldn't think he wasn't in real danger. They saw the cameraman hanging. So
it's possible, yeah. It's hard to say.
So, but then they go, yeah, leave him in there, and then he starts flipping out there, like try to bang on the door, and then that's when they see Ada Ritter there, and I like how they did the ghost. They just put like fucking old fashioned stupid powder on their faces to make like they're so cheap, but it's amazing how it works. Yes, it's amazing how it works. But she looks ridiculous. She's a terrible wig.
Put some flour on her and a bad wig.
You know what would have been really good at the end of this? If this was all set up by her. Like these were all actors. And this was all bullshit.
That would have been cool. And then like he died because he got scared. He just jumped out the window or something. No,
the same thing happened because basically what happens. So she says like, Horton, you gotta stay in there. Don't worry. Like the ratings are too high. Just stay in there. You can handle it. So he's trying to run away from this bitch with a chainsaw. This ghost with a chainsaw is chasing him around, and he's ducking and whatever. And then he basically tangles himself up through the curtains. That these curtains have these ropes on them, and he gets tangled in them. And then he falls out the window. Oh, he gets cut. She slices him in the stomach, and he falls out the window, and then he gets hung. He hangs himself by accident.
Yeah, from the curtain. Curtain ties.
Yeah, so then they catch him on they catch him on the camera, and they're like, oh shit, and they just see him.
Like, the outside view of the house. Yeah, they got a good angle of him jumping out and hanging.
And you just see blood dripping down his mouth and all over. He died, and then it's just like she's like, oh my god, and then that's just. And the comic the comic, surprisingly enough, does something similar where like. It's very short. Like the comics is crazy how short it is, and so. But the guy who goes upstairs, he went with the professor, or that's paranormal, expert. The professor says he's going upstairs. The guy stays downstairs to get footage of downstairs, and then all of a sudden he's like, I can't hear the professor anymore. But he felt cold spots and everything. So he goes, I'm going to go upstairs. I can't hear the professor. What happened? And then he goes, I don't hear you. And then basically something happens. He opens the door, and then he gets pulled in, and then all of a sudden you see him hanging. And the camera was on the floor, so the camera sees him hanging. It sees like he got pulled, and then all of a sudden he drops from the ceiling, from the door frame, and it's just his feet. So I was like,
okay, I got to rewatch that because I didn't
that's
see
in the
if
comic.
There was an angle of in the comic.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's in the comic.
But in the episode, I don't think they ever showed a shot of the. I got to rewatch it, but. I don't think I remember seeing the shot of the guy's legs in the camera view, like from their perspective in the production booth.
No.
Oh, I guess all they saw was the camera was like on the floor.
No. In the production, they just see him fall out the window. They had a camera facing the window, so he breaks through, and they see his whole face and everything. In the comic, because he had the camera inside, he put it on the floor. He went and I think he goes into the door, and he sees. We don't see the spirits of the. Mr. and Mrs. and the one that had the affair, the other guy. So then they pull him in, and you don't see him in the doorway anymore. And then you see him hanging, his feet hanging, and then, so he died. And then you see the people at home going, oh, like they can't believe they just saw that on television. So that's how they did it in the comic. In this one, they did it much better. But again, I think if it was like if we found out that this was set up by the production crew to fuck with him, and these were actors, and he got fucked. They didn't get cut. He just fell out the window and hung himself by accident. That would have been good too. But this is great the way it is. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, it didn't need a twist. It was pretty straightforward even from the beginning. So like, I wouldn't have changed it. I think the way they did it was really well done compared to the other episodes we've seen, where it almost seemed like the comic was a lot better at, more interesting, giving us more than what the adaptation was. So this was one of the best. It still holds up after multiple viewings. That's a great job. And I mean, this is another example of like you get a stunt guy or a guy that's worked in the industry for a while directing an episode, and it just works out well.
And then I don't know, they got Morton Downey Jr. and he was really good in it. I mean, again, people, watch this episode. This is one of the best. I mean, this is one of my favorites of all time. Definitely top 5 for me, for sure. I know no matter what. There's another episode coming up in this season that's another one for me only. None other people won't maybe not put it there. But for me, this is really high. I got to see the whole series, but as of right now, I would say number 1 and number 2 is all through the house, and television terror is number 2 for sure. For sure, that's the top 2. I have there's no debating. You could say whatever you want, okay, whatever. But for me, no. These 2 are the best, the absolute best.
For sure. I mean, those are the ones that leave the most impressions. Those are ones I can rewatch a bunch.
I don't think they ever. Well, they might have played it on TV on Fox. I'm not sure, because this one's a hard one to. Well, they just cut the scene when he cuts his stomach, and then when he falls out the window. I don't know how they showed that, to be honest.
Yeah, I remember that. I know that they were talking about how they would air some of these episodes on prime time, since HBO back then was a bit more of those. I think you had to pay to watch it, right?
Oh, you still have to pay to watch HBO, but it was a premium channel.
But it was a premium channel before the streaming services really took off. So now there's like an online form of premium channel. So yeah. Great episode. I mean, there's not much to really, not anything really. The only thing I would say was the downside. It was, I wish it was longer. It just went by so quick, and things happen right away. There's no bullshit. It's an easy setup. No twist or nothing. And
I don't think it goes by.
From what little there was of like have the locations and everything. It's just a perfect pace.
It is like 22 minutes, which is it's kind of short. But it's so good, and the fact that the comic it came with, the comic it's based on, is even shorter. They managed to do a lot with this little time. They could have had somebody else go in there, and it could have been 3 people. Like the doctor could have went in, you know what I mean? And he could have died too, and then it would have been a little bit longer. You could have added like 3 more minutes, but it works. Mm-hmm. It works even no matter what it is. You could tweak it and make it better. You can, but this is really perfect the way it is. Like, this is really one of the best. I guess you could do the makeup better. I love that they didn't make them look like zombies. I really do love that they didn't, because we've seen so far a lot of zombies on this.
We've seen a lot of them. That's the trend.
Yeah. So they do look ridiculous. They look fucking ridiculous, but it works. It works.
And I guess the job done, and it didn't seem like it had that high of a budget either. But they made do with what they were given. I mean, it looks a lot better than other ones that didn't seem to have a budget.
Yeah. And they paid homage twice, I think, to The Shining. The guy in the bathtub, right? Could be like the woman in the bathtub. And then the blood coming down the door. You know?
Right.
So they kind of, I mean, the blood coming down the door, not necessarily. Because there's a video online somewhere of people that went to investigate somebody's home, that they were having paranormal activity, and there was blood dripping down from some part of the house. I necessarily don't think it was blood, but because it doesn't really look like blood. But then again, the footage is no good, so there's a lot of bullshit behind that, and I don't know, because there's a lot of things I see on TikTok or Instagram, and I go, why don't these people
do a better job at faking it than others, and the other ones just looks too fake, right?
Yeah,
clearly CGI.
There's one guy I messaged him several times. Let me investigate your house. Like, if you're having these things happen, and they don't never respond. Why? You know, it makes no sense. If it was true,
it's hard to trust some of those online.
Yeah, no, it's
like you said. Yeah, if it was true, then I'm sure they would.
I recently just came.
Or somebody else, Zach Bagans would have reached out already.
Yeah, I recently just came. Jack Osborne, Ozzy Osbourne's son. He's into the paranormal. He hosts a bunch of shows. So I recently came across on TikTok a bunch of Bigfoot videos, and then some of them are like, oh, that looks interesting. But like, I go, we're in 2024. Why can't you get a good fucking shot of this thing?
Right.
Get out of here. Get out. But some of the footage is kind of like, well, that's hard to do. Like one of them was like a shadow thing too. I'll send it to you. It was like I was like, what the fuck? Maybe I'll post it. I have a locals for people out there. There's a locals for Ghost Crusaders TV, which is where there's the YouTube channel and the Rumble channel where Creeps of the Crypt, the podcast video version, shows up. But there's no video of me and Alan yet. Still working on that. But you can see the the little player if you want to watch a video. But if you go to locals, there's gonna be some stuff from Creeps of the Crypt on there on top besides my YouTube videos. That'll be up there mostly. But you'll also, for $2 a month, if you like, you pay $2 a month and you get extra like little footage, and these podcasts are gonna be up there before they're on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, Rumble, everywhere, Odyssey, BitChute, we're everywhere. So if you go on locals, you can hear these podcasts a week before they actually go up live. So yes. So yeah, there you go. And then you get little videos too. So there's gonna be a bunch of videos on Tales from the Crypt and stuff. And I'll probably post, if I see these stupid Bigfoot videos or paranormal videos I used to put on there, I'll put them up there because it's whatever.
Jesus. No, I'm gonna say, yeah, for sure. This one is definitely one to watch, and I've rewatched several times. It's just great. Like it just has a good pace. Morton Downey is great in this episode. I didn't know too much about him prior to us discussing this. I know there was some info I saw that he was kind of like evocateur, as his documentary names. So he's had some history in that field of television. So I guess part of it benefited him for this role and to make it convincing, and just since he has a lot of on-screen experience, it just worked. It's just a straightforward episode, and great things they did there leading up, and just good build up to what the end of his career, pretty much getting to experience all these spirits that are in the house, and just seeing everything unravel was just really well done. I was actually very excited to hear your perspective on it. I know they didn't really do that much. It was just kind of all for the views and everything, so they didn't really like go in there with equipment on ghost hunting. So, but yeah, it was cool to get your perspective on it, because I know you've had some experience on that, and you got your recorded some stuff there. So it's interesting to see how they portray that stuff in movies or television. But yeah, with that said, this is a solid 5. I mean, this is almost a perfect episode.
Yeah,
not much I can really knock it to be kind of objective about it. It's just a solid episode, one of the more memorable ones for this season, for sure.
Yeah, so my rating is obviously a 5 out of 5. This is a great episode. So yeah, loved it. Next episode's good too, in my opinion. I don't know what Alan thinks, but we'll talk about that when it would come up to that. But anyway, guys, yeah, that was the episode for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember, you can find us on X at Creeps of Crypt, or Splinter 47 for Alan, or you can find Ghost Crusader TV. Yeah, so those are the 3 places you can find us, or you can go to locals, like I said, ghostcrusaders.locals.com, I believe. Let me just make sure that's accurate. Yes, ghostcrusaders.locals.com. You can join. I think it's free to join. And then I'm gonna have to put some of the videos behind the Creeps of the Crypt, the Tales of the Crypt and Creeps of the Crypt stuff, the audios that I'm gonna start posting there, the videos. That's gonna be behind a paywall, but you can join for free. I'm pretty sure, because Alan joined for free, and then you have
the
to
paywall is just pretty much creating an
for extra stuff. And then if
locals.
you want, and if you guys want to upload stuff, like if you want to post stuff on it, then you pay $2. But you can watch any of the other videos. But most of the Creeps of the Crypt stuff is going to be behind that. That's $2 a month. So we recorded a little segment here about Bigfoot that you guys won't hear on YouTube or iTunes or Spotify or everywhere else. But if you go to locals, you can hear that. You can hear that if you want to, if you care, But then again, you also get the episodes a week in advance.
To get a tease, you should just Photoshop Coolio's head on the Crypt Keeper for the next thumbnail.
Oh, that'd be so. People could be like, "What the fuck? What's this racist
then
shit?"
People can't complain that it's we're now uploading the episode.
Oh, guys,
Instead of reading the
it's a
thumbnails,
little
this is
segment.
podcast.
It's a little. It's like a 2-minute segment. That's all. So you don't have to anyway. But hey, it's something. Anyway, like I said, you'll get the episodes a week early if you go to locals, and you'll get other stuff too. We'll see. I mean, I'm just trying something out here, guys. Anyway, or you could go to grocerysaversmerch.com, pick up cool shirts. We got two interesting shirts on there for Dead Right. I have an idea for another 2 shirts. An idea for one, really.
Oh yeah.
I have an idea for one. I'll tell you when we get off, and then I have an idea for another. Just now, actually, I kind of think of coming up with an idea for one for this. But anyway, yeah, I got an idea for this one. All right. Anyway, yes, guys. We'll talk to you guys next time when we review Brother's Keeper.
Yeah. Take care, guys. Peace out.